Look at this. Everyone's buzzing about GPT 4.0 right now. People click on any video that even mentions its name. Most of us figure GPT 4.0 is unbeatable, the absolute gold standard in AI. But what if I told you there's an underdog called DeepSeek GRM that's actually outscoring GPT 4.0 in some tests? Crazy, right? In the next few minutes, you'll see how DeepSeek's self-taught AI is redefining what smart really means and why it's got the big players on edge. I've been digging through every leaked benchmark and dev report to separate hype from reality, and the numbers speak for themselves. Let's dive in as something strange is unfolding in the AI world, a newcomer that just might outsmart GPT 4.0. It's called DeepSeek GRM, and nobody saw it coming. If you haven't heard of it yet, buckle up. This system not only learns faster but critiques and improves itself on the fly. Some tests show it even outperforms established giants. How is that even possible? Let's find out. The AI nobody saw coming. DeepSeek started as a lesser-known name in the crowded AI scene. Backed by Tsinghua University, it gained attention for building large language models that could challenge Western players like OpenAI. Now they've unveiled something called DeepSeek GRM, a system that claims to think for itself. That phrase alone sends chills down the spines of developers everywhere. It isn't just about spewing out answers, it's about analyzing its own responses and teaching itself in real time. What makes this so surprising is how quickly it rose to prominence. While tech giants typically grab headlines, DeepSeek came out of nowhere and, within months, presented something the entire community is buzzing about. It shows that AI breakthroughs can come from unexpected places, and we might be looking at a major player in the next generation of intelligent models. How it learns to think for itself. At the heart of DeepSeek GRM is a new training method called SPCT, or Self-Principled Critique Tuning. Unlike traditional models that simply learn from labeled data, DeepSeek's approach instructs the AI to generate its own set of rules or principles. Every time the model comes up with an answer, it then checks that answer against these self-generated guidelines. Why does this matter? Because it allows the model to refine its responses without human intervention. Think of it like a student who critiques their own homework before turning it in. If they spot mistakes, they fix them on the spot. This self-evaluation loop means the AI doesn't just rely on external feedback. It actively polices its own logic, clarity, and even safety. In the AI arms race, a system that can self-correct might leap ahead of those that only follow static, hard-coded rules. Scoring, sampling, and self-correction. Of course, building an AI that critiques itself sounds complicated. DeepSeek's solution? Repeated sampling and a meta-reward model, meta-RM. Here's how it works. Every time the AI generates an answer, it also drafts a short explanation of why that answer should be considered good or bad. Then it scores each potential response from 1 to 10 based on correctness, clarity, and any other priorities the model has learned. But that's not the end of the story. DeepSeek takes multiple samples of these self-evaluations, filters out any that don't meet a basic standard of coherence using meta-RM, and ultimately keeps the best version. This method takes a little more computing power, but the payoff is a much more accurate final result. It's like gathering multiple opinions from the same expert, then blending the best parts into a single cohesive answer. What's shocking is how effective this repeated sampling can be. By combining multiple rounds of self-checks, DeepSeek GRM often reaches near-perfect answers in certain test scenarios, sometimes matching or outperforming GPT 4.0. People doubted it at first, but the numbers back it up, outsmarting the giants. When news broke that DeepSeek GRM had surpassed or matched GPT 4.0 on specific benchmarks, everyone took a second look. Benchmarks like Reward Bench, PPE, and RMBB measure an AI's helpfulness, safety, and reasoning. On Reward Bench alone, DeepSeek's 27B model scores above 86% with a single pass. Crank up the repeated sampling, and that score climbs into the 90-plus range, on par with some of the largest AI systems available. To achieve that without a 671B parameter mega model is astonishing. If you can get equal or better performance with a smaller, cheaper model, simply by letting it evaluate and refine its own answers multiple times, you've found a major shortcut. Suddenly, the question becomes, do you even need a monstrous 600 billion plus parameter model if a 27 billion can handle most tasks with a clever sampling trick? But that's exactly the type of innovation that's upending conventional wisdom. Bigger isn't always better if you can teach a model to think smarter rather than harder. And that's exactly DeepSeek's strategy. Why this changes everything. Imagine scaling this technology beyond basic Q&A. DeepSeek's approach isn't just for chatbots. It could apply to coding assistants, medical advice, or any situation where self-review might catch mistakes faster than humans. The potential is enormous. For developers, a model that can refine its own logic means less time babysitting AI systems and more time innovating. Then there's the user perspective. We all want AI to be helpful, accurate, and safe. If it can systematically filter out questionable responses on its own, we move one step closer to an AI that doesn't just mimic understanding, it genuinely prioritizes correctness. This also opens the door to more nuanced safety filters. If the model's principles include guidelines against harmful or misleading content, repeated self-checking might drastically reduce the risk of slipping up. With that said, some observers worry about what happens if the AI's principles ever become misaligned with user values. Could it censor or favor certain viewpoints automatically? That's the flip side of self-improvement. If it's shaping its own moral framework, who ensures it remains balanced? That debate is heating up, especially as AI becomes more embedded in our daily lives. The R2, rumor, and what's next? DeepSeek's popularity spiked earlier in the year with a chatbot they called R1, and rumor has it an R2 is on the horizon. Nobody knows for sure what's in it. Some speculate it could incorporate the entire GRM framework for an all-in-one next-gen AI. Others think it might push the concept of self-critique even further, combining it with larger parameters to rival any platform on the market. Because DeepSeek hasn't issued an official statement, the community is in full-on speculation mode. Is this R2 about to blow GPT 4.1 out of the water? Will it remain semi-secret or release open source as some rumors suggest? For now, we only know that curiosity is running high, and each new leak or snippet of code fuels more chatter. But that's not the only big move in AI right now. Meanwhile, at OpenAI, OpenAI isn't sitting still. According to insiders, GPT 4.1 is on deck, promising a refined version of the popular multimodal GPT 4.0. Faster speeds, better reasoning, and improved memory are all on the table. They're even planning mini and nano builds designed for faster deployment and broader device support. References to these O3 and O4 mini models have appeared in ChatGPT's web code, hinting that we could see them any day now. The biggest shift might be ChatGPT's new expanded memory feature. Until recently, ChatGPT could only recall a limited snippet of past conversation. Now it's geared up to remember just about everything you've ever asked it, so your AI assistant becomes progressively more personalized. Some users adore this, others are uneasy about an AI that never forgets. But Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, calls it surprisingly great, suggesting it's a glimpse of AI that grows alongside you and essentially becomes a digital companion. Where does this leave users who value privacy? OpenAI says you can opt out anytime and even switch to temporary chat mode, which won't save your interactions. But the conversation about data usage and privacy rages on. As AI evolves, that conversation is only going to get louder. The future of self-growing AI? Between DeepSeek's self-critiquing approach and OpenAI's memory-packed assistants, we're entering an age where AI won't just respond to our questions. It will adapt, remember, and evolve in ways that feel eerily human. It raises a huge question. If these systems are now writing their own rules, refining their own logic, and storing every snippet of conversation, are we still fully in control? Some argue that we are because humans still write the core code and set the guardrails. Others wonder if we're inching toward a scenario where AI's self-improvement eventually outpaces our ability to monitor it. One thing's for sure, the competition between emerging players like DeepSeek and established titans like OpenAI is driving breakthroughs at a pace that leaves us breathless. Whether DeepSeek's 27B model will officially dethrone GPT 4.0 remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the AI race is turning into a sprint, with self-learning and memory upgrades at the forefront. While giants like OpenAI refine their best-in-class models, newcomers like DeepSeek are proving that you don't need to be the biggest, just the smartest. And if you're curious about leveraging AI for your own projects, we've got something special for you. There's a community that shows you how to start your own channel, choose the right tools, and even monetize your work. The link is in the description, but hurry, spots are limited. If these breakthroughs excite you or maybe unsettle you, you're not alone. We're witnessing a new era of machines that don't just respond, but grow and evolve with every interaction. Will it empower us or shift the balance of control to the AI itself? The final verdict is still out, and the story is only getting started. Thank you for watching and stay tuned, because if DeepSeek's achievements are just the beginning, the next big AI revolution could hit sooner than any of us expect. So take a deep breath and see you next time.